The Ahti episode. It might be episode 44. One of those. I'm not sure this is going to be a full-length episode because I'm not going to go through the maze today, and I don't remember how much is between now and the maze. I really, really enjoy these Ahti segments. I think the Ahti segments are the best in the game in terms of overall flow and also overall presence. Using Ahti's singing, or I don't even know if it's Ahti's songs, the stuff he might be listening to it rather than singing it. But either way, using that instead of the chanting is a brilliant subversion, and it really lets you know exactly what sort of thing Ahti is. I enjoy the way that they layer in guides that are much more natural and easy to get along with than the guides we were using in the past. Just all told, these are some of my favorite segments in the game. They are not, however, very visually striking, except for right now. You don't have to do things with a lot of complexity. You can go for something a little bit more psychological and just use 1,000 million repeated elements that go off into forever. I think it works really, really well for this section, and I'm sure it was much, much easier than some of the other sectors they had to build. And she was silent for that whole ride. Can you believe it? They even turn the music off when you get here. I think it's just a wonderful set of touches. It's just fantastic. This darkness with the giant barrier between us and whatever's ahead of us, great choice. This is presumably for calling the cart back if we get stuck here. Come around the side, and what's that? It's a light at the end of the tunnel. Previously I said that a light had to have some contours. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Look at all those contours, rather than just one giant, flare. However, to kind of strengthen the feel of this area, rather than it feeling too repetitive, we're seeing some Ahti vision. We're getting some Ahti flow. And that is because Ahti is at the beach.
Something up ahead. Do you see it?
So, having tents here is a little bit of a surprise to me. I guess I misunderstood what this area was, because if there are tents here, then there are people here. I'm sure Ahti didn't set them up. He certainly didn't set up, 6 places at the table. So, I guess this is not as Ahti limited as I presume this was some kind of really deep off in the middle of nowhere area that the humans hadn't ever bothered to go. But I can clearly see that's not true. I hear Ahti opening some cans and cooking some bratwurst. Ah, look at that trees. Ahti's memories or figments of Earth vacation life, I really like how it sort of feels, and it makes it clear that Ahti is... He's not a human, but there's a question as to whether or not he remembers a human. Whether he remembers that the humans... whether he's ever human, or whether he's just remembering things that humans tend to remember. That didn't come out right because I was thinking too hard about the visuals. Basically, the question is whether he was once human or whether he is just remembering things that humans like. So here you can see some classic art. We're going to just sweep right past it, because we don't have much choice.
Ahti?
Did you miss me?
Yeah.
Did you have peace in your song?
Don't know about that, but you're my favorite character.
No. Bark don't make a wound. You did good. Take my cassette player. You can borrow it. The song is a present from my friends to you.
It's the
It
key
will
to
get
the
you through
to the maze.
so
Yeah.
you can do your job.
Did that really just happen? Of course it did. He gave me his cassette player. It'll get me through the maze, huh? The janitor always has the keys.
Once again, we got that beautiful fake science stuff. Now, if you were to talk about this in more detail, the fake science stuff is just as good as the real science stuff, because this is all about the impression it leaves on the human brain. It's not about what it actually does, and it never has been. That's the whole point of the oldest house. It and all of the objects of power are about the impressions left on the human mind. And over here we've got some art that, well, I could talk about, the religious connotations of that sort of symbology, but I don't think that that's why you're here, and I don't think there's any deep meaning to it. I don't think this game is based on that sort of thing. I think they just thought it looked cool. Let's go over to the edge of the beach where the cliff starts. Depths of the ocean look a little gray today. That's fine. Now, it's only been 7 minutes, but basically we're going to have an entire episode dedicated to the matchstick. I always call it the matchstick. The ashtray maze. And, that's something we're going to want to do proper rather than stuffing it on the end of an Ahti episode. So this was a short one, and I'll see you at the ashtray maze.